welcome, welcome, welcome. Who's in the house with Michael? I brought my great friend Kristine Fitzpatrick back. You've all met her before. We've done a show together. Kristine is the chairman. What do you call yourself?
I'm the founder.
The founder.
And I was going to say athletic director. It's early in the morning. I am the founder and executive director
of the League of Yes. The League of Yes.
Yeah.
So we're here today. We're just going to talk about the League of Yes some more. Last time when I spoke to you, I kind of dissected your whole life. I did. This is your life. We took it from the beginning to where we are now.
Yeah.
I want to spend some time today and talk about the Foundation League of Yes. It's doing so many great things. There's so many good events coming up. So let's talk about the League of Yes. Tell us what the League of Yes does.
So the League of Yes is a baseball program for children with all abilities, we like to say. Really excited. We're coming into our 13th year. So as I say, we're a program about baseball. We're actually now doing basketball as well. So we're becoming League of Yes, a sporting program for children with all abilities. So like I just said, we're coming into our 13th year. I've never been more excited. I will digress a little bit because we have two new people that are on our board of directors that are bringing in great new blood and excitement. And one happens to be Mr. Michael right over here.
Looky here. All right. Well, listen, I want to I'm looking to be involved with something where I can give back and help a little bit. And the reason I connected with you on this, obviously we connect, but because I think the league is doing something different. We're working with children that normally are left out on the sideline. Mm-hmm. They're normally left at home. They're normally left to their device or whatever their situation is, and they don't get to participate like other children. And with you creating this foundation, the League of Yes, you've changed that. You've broken down the rules. You've taken down the walls. And you said, listen, I don't care if you're on crutches. I don't care if you're in a wheelchair. You're going to get out. You're going to do athletics and whatever it takes. So
that's right.
Picture this, a ball field with a bunch of children playing ball and adapting to everyone's needs. So if somebody's in a wheelchair, everybody gets on base.
Yeah.
And someone like me is going to be behind a wheelchair and going to run on the first base. And I'll run on the second base. Or whatever the play is. The point is that they're getting to experience something that otherwise they would never be able to experience. And just get to watch other children do it and be on the sideline. And that's why I'm so interested in and like this so much. Yeah. So we set up ball games. So there are 2 fields we're operating out of?
Yeah, technically 3 fields, which is exciting. So we have 1 field that is in Nassau County. That is our newer field. That was installed in 2016. And we have 2 fields in Suffolk County at Bald Hill. So the field that's up top, that's the original field that got us started. That is an asphalt field. Really easy to maneuver the wheelchairs around and the walkers and stuff. And then we have what we call our lower field. And that field is synthetic turf. So that is for our kids, our skills kids, which is a different program. Over the years, we have found that there's some kids that are just so good. And because they're so good and they're so strong, we had to cherry pick them out of our program because we have a lot of children that have cerebral palsy or different things that don't allow them to react to protect themselves, right? That's why we have our volunteer/buddy system. So we've taken those players out and they play on their own field. They do not have volunteers. They're learning the game on their own and they are so good.
Yeah. And Kristine, you know, this started a little small and it's kind of grown a little bit now. So let's talk about that. You started 1 field.
We started, so originally we started in 2010 in the fall. So we did a pilot program just to see what we could do. So we literally knocked on doors to agencies like AHRC and stuff like that, trying to get players. Like, it's free, come play. We barely had 30 kids show up that year. I think it was more like 24. And the same thing as volunteers that we had for that 6 weeks. I think we had about 30 all together. So, you know, you fast forward again into our 13th year and now getting out of COVID, that the kids are starting to come back. We have over 300 children. We have 3 fields. And I actually was just adding up the volunteers the other day because I had another speaking engagement. And we're over 10,000 volunteers in 13 years that we have had, which is amazing.
When you build the teams, are you building them with age groups also?
No.
Okay, so it's just based on skill sets and abilities.
It is, well, to be honest with you, it's the League of Yes, because we don't say no. So with that being said, when you're working in the community of people with special needs, you really can't put an age on them, because you could have a 5-year-old that plays like a 5-year-old, but you could have a 12-year-old that plays like a 5-year-old.
Okay.
So it's hard to put an age on anything. So it's basically, it's non-competitive, let's be honest. Kid gets up at bat, themselves or their buddy helps them hit the ball off the tee. They run around first, second, and third. They go through the tunnel of love, which are human people standing side by side, cheering them on, and they get a home run. When they're in the outfield, there's dance parties going on, duck, duck, goose. We play music really loud. So yeah, is it the game of baseball? It is, but is it really?
It's a little closer to the Banana League.
Pretty much. It's for the kids to get out and exercise, right? It's the hardest thing for children with special needs is to gain friendships. So this program, they're with their peers. They are making beautiful connections. They're making lifelong friends, and they're having a great time. The iPad is now down, instead of that being in their face.
Right.
Get some exercise. Vitamin D is so
fresh air.
important. And I joke with the parents, I say, hopefully we run them around enough, when they go home, they'll take a nap.
I'm also impressed with, you talked about your skills, skills training, skills group?
Skills team.
Skills team. To that point, you have a retired professional baseball player actually coaching these children, teaching them the skills. They're learning how to bat properly, learning how to use the glove and stand in front of the ball. And that's a big deal. We're not just getting any old dad or any old person to stand there. You have a retired professional baseball player.
We are very fortunate to have Matt Giuliano. He is from day one. Matt only came down to help volunteer with another program called Hank Shanks. It was a travel team that he was involved with, and he hasn't left since. He fell in love with the kids. He fell in love with the program. At one point, he said straight out that this program helped save him stay into baseball, because he wanted to get out of baseball, which he eventually did, which we'll talk about that. But we've been blessed big time to have him, because he has trained these children, and in their indoor facility over the winter, he's just been absolutely a key to their success.
We're in the month of February right now. We still have open registration going on for people to join?
We do.
When does that close?
So we're just starting right now registration for baseball. So that closes on April 10th, off the top of my head.
And the season starts?
And the season starts April 27th.
So right there. So what kinds of things do parents need? If some parent is hearing this story, wants to sign up a child, or knows somebody they want to pass on, what do they need to register? What's the cost?
So the registration, you just go to League of Yes, spelled YES.org, and there is a registration form. You go to the tab. You choose which field you want to be, whether you're in Nassau County or Suffolk County. It is a 12-week program, so it's 6 weeks in the spring, 6 weeks in the fall. The cost is only $150, and you get your uniform, trophy, as well as breakfast with Santa, which is a whole other topic of so much fun. You get $50 in raffles so that you can sell. And so basically, it's $100 at the end of the day for 12 weeks, which is amazing.
What about the families that are coming to sit in the stands or to help? What is that atmosphere like?
Oh, it's amazing. So the great thing that we found out over the years is when the children are out playing and the parents are sitting in the bleachers together, they're getting to know each other. They're gaining friendships, right? They're being with their peers that they understand what it's like to raise a child with a disability. Maybe somebody knows a better therapist to go to. Maybe somebody knows about a grant that's out there or a different insurance. It's become such a phenomenal networking atmosphere for them. And again, the friendships that they have gained has been insane.
Well, there you go. That in itself there is a support group.
Yeah,
right?
100%.
We're all in our own little bubble, thinking we're all going through something that no one else is going through, and it could very easily push you in a dark place. So when you come out of that bubble and you realize other people are dealing, other people might have it worse, other people are there to share their experience and help, it's a little bit, it's very helpful. It's very helpful. Beyond helping the children and all that is,
Yeah.
you're actually an athlete. If you remember from the first
Yeah.
video, we went through Kristine's athletic background. So as an athlete, this is kind of full circle for you to be able to
It
do a lot of
is.
good things and still be near the
Yeah.
smell of sweaty uniforms and stuff.
Absolutely.
That's your thing. That's your grind. So
It is my grind, and I love it. You know, if somebody asks me, like, what am I getting out of doing all this? To be really honest with you, I'm having a blast. I'm having a lot of fun. This is my passion. My passion is to help other people. My passion is, you know, the saying of, if not me, who? If not now, when? Right? So why can't we all adopt that type of an attitude to have? And I besides, am madly in love with all these children and their parents. We've just become such a huge family. And if there's something that I can do and it's easy enough for me to do, why not? But again, this girl is having a lot of fun.
What are some of the challenges in trying to build a foundation like this, trying to build this organization, get it a little bit bigger? What are the challenges you get going?
That is a great question, because in the very beginning, the big challenge was that nobody believed it would become a big program. People did not believe that I would take it to the next level. People thought it would be more than a hobby, you know, just a like, well, you know, we can't give you money because, you know, if you're just doing this for fun, which I am, but not for the longevity part of it, but they didn't believe in me. And so it was really hard for us to raise money. And for the first couple of years, we kept the program free, in the respect of not paying for registration and the volunteers either. But we could not financially keep up with it. So it was either stop the program altogether or put a price onto the program.
So why do we need money? What does the money go for? Are we buying?
There's so
are we
much.
renting the fields? Are we buying
Yeah.
equipment?
Yes.
We're renting the gyms.
Yeah.
Like, this stuff's not getting
There's-
donated.
So this stuff is not getting donated. You have to remember too that I have a ton of insurance. Not only do I have insurance of being on the field, I have volunteer insurance. I have insurance for the kids. I have board insurance, right? So if something goes awry with the board, I have insurance on each and every one of us. And then on top of that, you know, we work with the CRM's platform where it's called Network for the Good. That's very expensive for us, but we have to have it because that houses all of our donations, right? We have to pay for an accountant. You can't ask everybody to do everything
Right, so-
pro bono.
Administration.
That we have. And you know, a few years back, there was an issue with somebody that donated to us, which was outside of their bylaws. And they came to us and they were suing us. It was silly, but we had to have attorneys.
No.
And thank goodness that we have somebody on our team that is an attorney. So all these fees that people don't realize. And then on top of that, the waters that we purchase, even as small as the name tags that we purchase, all of this has an expense to it. We have to pay for the field. We don't pay for Brookhaven, but we pay for Nassau. Basketball is very expensive to rent. So, I mean, I can go on and on of
Well,
the
the
expenses.
point is, it's not self-funded. We need money.
No,
we
right.
need to raise money.
Right.
But that's where I'm going with the next
Yeah.
question. So, how do we raise money? Where do we get money from to grow this thing and keep it alive? Where are we getting money?
So where we're getting money. So we do have a couple fundraisers every year. One of our strong ones is our golf outing. But we are also in the mix of trying to raise money for an all accessible playground. So with that being said, we need to step up our game and have another fundraiser that we can focus. That money specifically will go to the playground. So
we do fundraisers, but
Yeah.
do people also make individual donations year
They do.
round?
Yeah.
Does that account for much as a
Oh,
percentage? or-
it does.
Yeah.
Listen, every dime helps.
If we're pleading-
$5,
Right.
you
If
know.
we're pleading to the community that's watching us right now,
Yeah.
we want you to donate money. Either get on the website and donate,
Yes.
or come see what's going on at one of the fields or a game,
Yeah.
and think how maybe you can interject, supply something. Maybe give us a year's worth of water. I don't
Yeah,
know.
no, and that's wonderful. And you know, I was going in a different direction, but we are also started a candle business. So you can go to our website and you can purchase candles. And that, I mean, that's a whole nother podcast in itself. But we're having our players are coming down and helping make candles because we want to build this program that it gives 20% of the profit goes back to the league so we can become a little bit more sustainable. However, the goal for that is to build a big enough company where we can hire our players that are in need of a job, and some of them aren't employable, but they are to me, and I can make that work.
That's right.
So
That would
again,
be such...
it's a whole nother direction, but these are all the things that
would
we're
be so
doing.
ideal to be able to have the community of children participate and be functional,
Correct,
and be productive, and build their own self-esteem while creating a product that we can sell to raise money for the league.
Absolutely.
That's just a win-win.
Employment empowers. Just because you have a disability doesn't mean that you don't want, self-worth. You want to feel good about yourself, and creating a product, going to work and getting a paycheck. I mean, I've seen it firsthand. It's absolutely amazing.
So anybody out there with access to candle materials, production materials, reach out. We're making beautiful candles. They smell fantastic. You've done a lot of research. These are being done right now in a small production environment, but we'll scale up over time.
Yep.
But we're not buying candles and just sticking a label on them. We're actually, you've done the research on the smells and the ingredients. Make sure we're doing, nice stuff. And
I thought doing the candles would be something a little bit easier, and I was so wrong. So it goes to that saying, if it was so simple, everybody would be doing it. Because there is. I mean, there's even the wicks in itself of what type of load that you need with the wax and the fragrance and the colors. And it was a lot of research. And I've been researching and testing candles for about 6 months. I wasn't ready to put anything out until I had a perfect product. Because, when you're working in a community with people with special needs, they're not thinking that they're going to get a great product. So I'm really focused on making this a beautiful product and looking over the top professional.
I'm always so impressed how productive you are. You do so many things. You're so effective at so many things. How do you have so much free time? I don't know.
I don't have free time because I'm always doing, it's something that I think is just, it's innate, right? So all the girls in my family just always seem to be this. We're early risers. We get right to work, and for a long time I tried to change the way that I was, or for other people. And you know what? It turns out it's really not that bad that I'm just always productive. So to other people, it may seem like I've lost my mind, but I enjoy to always be
But that's
productive.
your energy level. You like to be busy. You don't like to sit around.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to sit on a couch.
No.
So how many, how many fundraisers in the yearly cycle under normal conditions if you're not doing a special fundraiser for something?
So in the normal, all we have been doing, honestly, is just our golf outing. It became too much in the past for me personally because I was running all of them. And just from a health standpoint, and again, I'm always on the go, but I'm also working other jobs as well. And it became too much stress. We were doing a gala, we were doing a golf outing, we were doing a 5K run, we were doing bowling. And I just finally had to pull the plug from everything and said, let's just stay focused. Let's do our golf outing. So that's our biggest fundraiser, I should say, for the year is the golf outing. But now, because we're trying to raise money for this playground and would love to have it done this year, 2024, we are now doing another fundraiser, which we just started to say earlier, which is happening on April 19th. And we're really excited about it. Every dime that fundraiser will go in its own pot right to the playground. So we're really going to be putting a big push on it, all of us, to try and get people to come down.
When you say the money going to the playground, what improvements are you looking to make at the playground?
What improvements are we making?
What do you mean just to pay for the...
We don't have a playground in Suffolk County. So we have a beautiful playground in Nassau County. But in Suffolk County, we don't. So we had the field moved to fit the same dimensions as our Nassau field so we can have continuity with the fields. So that left us with a big area in Suffolk County where it would be a perfect place for a playground. And again, my push on this playground, which I will not settle for anything less, is that every element in that playground has to be wheelchair accessible, meaning that the wheelchair, somebody that's in a wheelchair can roll up to whatever element, whether it's coming up. I mean, obviously we can't do like a slide.
We're not doing this in the sand.
Right. And, you know, they're, to be ADA compliant, all you have to have is what's called a transfer station, where that's what New York State requires. And I always say BS because I sell playgrounds. That transforms, that station there is so kids can get out of their wheelchair and get onto that platform and then push themselves around, which I sit there and shake my head and say, first and foremost, let's think about dignity. That's the first thing that goes into my head.
Sure.
And because that goes into the parent's mind as well. A transfer station is not conducive for a lot of our children.
Well, it's not adapting the child. You're adapting the child to the environment rather than adapting the environment to the child.
Right.
And that's what your goal is with the new playground, is to make sure that the environment is adapted to the child so the child can seamlessly enjoy themselves without being put in that position of being, you know.
And I don't want them to be just on the main level looking up at what other players are doing, that they can get in there, stay in their wheelchair and go up on a ramp, and then they can have just as much fun. So, that's what the goal is.
Having said that, April 19th, we've got a big fundraiser coming up. This is off-site. This is where it's at Gotham in Hauppauge. It's a huge facility, multi-use facility. They do so many different things there on their own year-round. They're a big part of what goes on at League of Yes and provide the space for us, right? So let's talk about this event on April 19th. We'd love you all to come and buy a ticket.
All right, so April 19th, we are doing a Texas Hold'em poker tournament, cornhole tournament, and line dancing. So it is a Texas Hold'em Hold'em. And
is this a Saturday night?
Probably messing you up with the speakers.
Sorry, come on, man. Okay. Is this a Saturday night event?
So it is a Friday night.
Friday night.
I'll put this back on here. And we have something for everybody. So, of course, I had to bring, I got to get all in my cowgirl outfit. We'll see how this looks after. And then I put one for Mike.
Yeah. Yippee-ki-yay.
There you go.
All right, so this is a really large space, and you're going to have poker going on, a poker tournament, right? And people can participate in the tournament or play poker outside the tournament.
So it is a poker tournament, it's a cornhole tournament, and it is line dancing. So it is every room, they have 3 very large rooms, is going to have a different event going on. So people out there, there's no excuse for you not to come, because if you don't play poker, you can hang out and line dance. If you don't line dance, then you can go and you can play cornhole thereafter. And we have there'll be a mechanical bull ride.
Oh my gosh.
And we have food trucks coming. It's going to be all barbecue. So it's a Friday night, all you can eat, all you can drink, and general admission is $100.
So where else can you go out on a Friday night and spend $100 and have a good time like this? I mean, you got food, beverage covered. That's more than $100 to go out anyway. Now you're in an environment with a lot of energy, people dancing and or playing cards or cornhole. And these are organized events. You actually have a professional person running the tournament.
I have a professional person running each element of it. So I hired a company that will come in with their own dealers, and they will run the poker tournament. I am hiring USA Cornhole of Long Island, and they will be running the whole cornhole tournament. I have a teacher that is coming in that will be running the line dancing. So each element will have professional people working through those tournaments. So it's going to be a great time. And again, if you don't like any of those, who doesn't like barbecue?
It's massive. So I want you to, we're going to post the information on this clip, on this interview. It'll be up on TikTok. It'll be on Instagram. It'll be everywhere you can find it. We've also created an event on Facebook for the Texas Hold'em. We're going to be circulating that everywhere we can, and we'd love for you to come join us. $100 is nothing. Come on out, right?
Please.
Good? All right.
Yes.
Thank you. We'll see you all then, April 19th.
Thank you.